Opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
We must take America back. Main Street to Wall Street, cities and states, Washington, D.C. Before it's too late, there's not long. We need leaders who lead us, not stick us and bleed us, then ransom our future and our children's, that's wrong.
That's right, America! Today we begin taking America back. Welcome to the new TPC Daily Brief. This is where we will begin connecting and empowering we the people. Join us now with your host, Ken Crow.
Oh, gosh, you caught me drinking. I hope it doesn't destroy my political and broadcasting career like they're saying happened to Marco Rubio. I am Ken Crow, and we are here to take America back. Welcome. We thank you from all parts of the great fruited plain, and we look forward to visiting with you today. We are going to have a fabulous show, which my esteemed co-host, Miss Tamara Scott, is here in studio, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what we've got going on in just a minute. But I need to talk to you for just a minute. It's no secret that we have issues on the site with visitors at night that like to post things that none of us really like looking at. Okay, we've got a small problem. We need you to help us out. We need you to report it. Now, when you report this, report it to a moderator. Report it to Tim Sr., Tim Jr., myself, a moderator. Do not be posting troll radars on people's websites. We've actually had donors that got kicked off because we thought they were truly a troll when they weren't. They were just somebody that disagrees. We're all going to disagree at times, and there's a good way to disagree and a bad way to disagree, and posting troll radars all over people's pages is not a good way to disagree. So we ask you to please stop posting troll radars all over everybody. I do think they're cute. Some of you guys are really creative with your artwork. I'll give you that. Okay, our phone number today, 855-244-0077, and you're going to want to call in today. I promise you, this is going to be a dynamic show today. You're going to love it. Now, let's say hello to my esteemed co-host, Tamara Scott. Hello, Tamara.
Good morning, Ken. I'm not hearing you. Let me see if I can get you on my earphones. A lot happening today, and for those, I know this is a national show, but for those who are in Iowa and even our friends outside the state, you may want to help on this one. People all over at the State House today, I just came from there, and I'm heading right back over there, lobbying for a gas tax increase.
Oh, no.
I'm just astounded that people will be lobbying for any type of a tax increase right now. I don't care what it helps. There is no way that our government, state, local, federal, city, county, anywhere, needs any more of your tax dollars. They just need to rearrange the dollars that they have and spend them wisely, which is exactly what we're dealing with on the sequestration. And I think we'll probably have some more discussion on that later in the week. Yesterday we had Drew Klein on from Americans for Prosperity, and I think he's going to join Ken again tomorrow. I will not be here. I will be in Iowa City. The co-chair, Sharon Day, the co-chair for the RNC, will be in Iowa City, and I'll be joining her. So tomorrow you get a guest host with Drew Klein.
Yay! We got rave reviews on Drew yesterday.
Because he speaks the truth. He has great information. He was not inflammatory. He just gave people facts, and people appreciate it. And I think that's the issue when they say that we're losing our younger generation, whether it's in our churches, whether it's in our political field. They sense when someone's giving them hogwash, and they resent it. And if we could just be so bold as to tell the truth. You know, you were talking about the lighting in the studio earlier today, and it's not the best lighting. Dan says they're working on that. We're so thrilled to even be here.
Absolutely.
At webcastonelive.com. It's just a blessing for us to be here. But my point is, we've got to quit looking at the cosmetic, the presentation. We all like a good presentation. We all like to be entertained, but that's exactly what's wrong with America today, is that we're looking at politicians. Look after Nixon in the debates where he looked tired and he had the 5 o'clock shadow. It hurt him in the election. Mm-hmm. And so we've got to get past that. Even the Republican Party and all their issue on the straw poll. it's a hoopla, it's a circus, but is it necessary? It's a fundraiser if we look at it for that. But we've got to come back to hearing the substance. What is the message? What is the truth? And then we have to act on those facts. So, yeah, Drew was a great guest because Drew can do exactly that, and he can do it in a very quick amount of time. Absolutely.
And by the way, I will apologize. I do have some dark circles under my eyes today. It's bad. And my wife tried putting makeup on me.
Ken,
but
we just said we're not going to worry about cosmetics. And here you are. Who
well,
thought it would be the
I
male
thought
part
I
of
ought
this
to
team?
point it out.
The male part of this team is worried about his looks.
Well, and if he took off his cowboy hat, he would probably have a more bright persona. But
No, it would be a large reflection off of the bald part.
Dan's telling him to take off that cowboy hat, but I think he has more identity in his cowboy hat than worrying about his circle.
Oh,
Sure.
mercy. Okay, we're fixing to fire the phones up, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do that. I read last night, I saw the news flash, Rand Paul voted for former Senator Chuck Hagel for Defense Secretary. Our Tea Party brethren, our Tea Party faithful, our Tea Party fearless leader of the future voted for this guy. And this is the same guy that refused to come down against Iran. He's the same guy that made disparaging remarks about Israel. He's the same.
Now,
Why? Why did Rand Paul vote for this guy? I want to hear our membership's opinions on this, but I'd love yours.
well, that's fine too. And I'm not going to defend Rand because I haven't been able to talk to him since the vote last night. I got busy and got onto other things today at the Capitol. But I was in Israel with Rand Paul in January.
Yeah.
And he's not anti-Israel like
No.
everyone assumes.
I
When
know
he says
he's
he
not.
doesn't
I'm talking
want
about
to-
Chuck Hagel.
Well, okay. Make that clear because
I
Rand Paul
apologize
is
if that
not
came out wrong.
anti-Israel.
No.
In fact, when he's talking about defunding Israel, he's saying the same thing that their own prime minister said back in the 90s. They want to be self-sufficient. He wants them to be self-sufficient. Isn't that what we should want for every country? Hey, how about that for our own? Wouldn't it be nice if America weren't borrowing money as well? So we need to be self-sufficient. And I can't answer why he voted for Chuck Hagel. I have my concerns about that as well. I'd like to know. But sometimes I know when you're in a voting issue, you have to make the hard votes, and there's a reason underneath, and we'll have to wait with eagerness to hear why.
Well, he did come out with a statement, and the statement was this, if I remember correctly, because people were posting it all over my TPC page and what have you. It had to do with they were concerned about, well, if they didn't approve Chuck Hagel, what was Obama going to put up next? And they were more worried about the second possible nominee, knowing that the public pressure may come down on him to approve, because in the end, the president did win the election. In the end, it is his right to appoint who he wants to, and that was Senator Paul's reasoning behind it. Well, it could be much worse, so we'll just take this one, basically, is what he said.
Which is why we Republicans keep losing.
I agree with you. I agree wholeheartedly with you. We have a caller, do we?
Yes,
Hang
sir.
on
You
just
got
a
Mary
minute.
Beth Collins on the line. She's been waiting since the start of the show.
Okay. Hello, Mary Beth Collins. Where are you calling from?
From Macon.
Macon?
Macon.
As in Georgia?
As in Georgia.
As in south of Atlanta, but north of Tampa?
No, the other Macon.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just messing with you. So I wanted to say I really like the troll signs. I like when people post them because then I know not to click on their profile. I saw some pornography.
Well, I'm not going to get into a big troll debate today. I just happened to think of that this morning on the drive in through the blizzard, because it is an issue and we are going to have to take care of it, and it is being rectified. So pretty soon we won't have that
appreciate
problem
I
anymore.
appreciate your work on it because I do like the site. I like the fact that I do not have to censor myself.
Well, thank you very much. And remember, you can always block anybody you don't like. And if you're
well-
having trouble blocking, send us a message and we'll make sure that that person's blocked from you.
Well, thank you. I tried to add you as a friend, but I couldn't find you.
I'm easy, Ken Crow. I'm the one with the Sarah Palin photo on my profile.
Oh, sir.
Okay.
So anyway, I want to talk to you about Chuck Hagel.
Okay,
Because
make it quick. I have callers holding,
I'm
so.
actually okay with him. Because the
Oh.
way I look at it, here's the way I look at it is because he's so anti-Israel that the Jewish-controlled media will not follow him in the way that they follow Barack Obama.
I suppose there could be some merit to that theory. Okay. All right, we'll put you down in the pro-Chuck Hagel. Mary Beth from
pro-Chuck Hagel. I'm just not
Mary Beth from
anti-Chuck
Macon.
Hagel.
Okay,
Alrighty
very
now.
good.
You take care now.
All right, bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okay. All right, so we have one listener that is not pro-Chuck Hagel, but is willing to tolerate Chuck Hagel. Okay, what are your thoughts, Tamara? Oh, Tamara's having headphone issues. I'm assuming we'll get that worked out.
I've been kicked
hopefully.
offline. I've been kicked out of the headphones. I'm out the
Bless your
door.
heart. You're just getting kicked everywhere. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go back to the Capitol after this and get kicked some more.
Well, I agree with a statement you said a minute ago, Tamara, that the more the Republicans acquiesce, if you will, to the Democrats, the more we're going to go down in defeat. As a matter of fact, we have a guest coming on later today. You know her. She just got into a major war with the Republican Party, and unbeknownst to her, she was at war. And I am honestly, you are going to be stunned when you hear this story. But we've got Jan Morgan coming on later with a story that is going to blow your mind, America. You're going to need to watch this. You're going to need to hear this because this is what's going on. We didn't do it. The Tea Party has not picked a war with the Republican Party. But apparently the Republican Party has decided to pick a fight with us. And I don't know why. We have Karl Rove starting a new PAC called Conservative.
You just can't wait to get to that one day, can you?
I'm on this Karl Rove deal. But I tell you what, let's go to break real quick. And coming out of break, I believe we've got one of your favorite singers on the line, I
Is
believe.
Steve already on the phone?
I believe so.
Excellent. Listeners, you're going to hear Steve Voss, V-A-A-S. You can check him out on YouTube. And for those of you who are watching on teaparty.com, teapartycommunity.com, email a friend right now during break. Email a friend and have them join you on teapartycommunity.com.
Absolutely.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershide.
I'm administrative manager
I am the senior technician.
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
You know, if we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, you know, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, it's your home.
You know, it's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're gonna do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's going to be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're going to do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed right or it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you gonna say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
They're gonna be listening. They're gonna wanna know what your challenges are. Then they're gonna come and give you options and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you know, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now and then leave. and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? I mean, you can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me, but is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going though, I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm gonna take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
I mean, fixed right or it's free or 100% money back.
enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
We must take America back. Main Street to Wall Street, cities and states, Washington, D.C. Before it's too late, there's not long. We need leaders who lead us, not stick us and bleed us, then ransom our future and our children's. That's wrong. We must take America back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the TPC Daily Brief with your host, Ken Crow.
Thank you, Dan. Well, we've got a special guest for you folks. Tamara, you want to introduce our very special guest today?
Well, I can, but you just told me I spelled his name wrong.
Oh.
Steve, are you with us?
I am indeed. Hello.
Hi, Steve. It's Tamara Scott. I don't know if you can remember me, but I've interviewed you on radio, on several different radio stations, and on a local cable TV show when you were here with Sarah Palin a couple years back.
Tamara, of course I remember you, and I'd rather talk to you than Ken Crow.
Okay, Councilman.
Very good. Now, I have messed up because I thought your name was VAAS, but Ken tells me it's VAUS.
Yeah, it's been VAUS all my life.
Well, then I was wrong. So, see, we need Ken. I am sorry, but we both need Ken. So,
Perish the thought.
So for our listeners and those watching on webcam, Steve, the song that we have on this show when we talked about music to come into, yours was the one that we both agreed we needed to use, and thank you for allowing us to use We Must Take America Back.
Oh, you bet. I mean, that's a song that's meant to be heard, and you know, it's probably more relevant today than almost 20 years ago when I first wrote it. Which is sad in a way. I wish that song would, just go away in its relevance. But now more than ever, we do need to take America back.
And when you first wrote that, you were blacklisted? It was blacklisted off certain radio stations?
Oh, yeah. It was the most remarkable thing. And yet, history repeats itself. 1992, that song came out, and RCA Records in Nashville thought it was going to be a big hit. And it was out and quickly became the most requested song on radio stations, and it was selling fast, moving up the charts like crazy. But then all of a sudden, while I was on tour, I got a phone call from my attorney saying, "Go home." I said, "What do you mean, go home?" He said, "Well, RCA has canceled your contract because the big city radio stations don't agree with your song. They don't think you should be singing about God and country and stuff like that."
Wow.
Keep in mind, this was at the time when, there was a song out, Cop Killer, and, that group 2 Live Crew were singing songs about sexual violence and stuff like that. And the ACLU actually defended their right to sing about that stuff on the radio. But me singing about Take America Back and God and Country, I was the bad boy.
Wow. What kind of reaction are you getting to your new video that's up on YouTube and your new song,
Well,
Come and Take It?
I tell you what, it's talk about history repeating itself. Come and Take It is a song that I wrote 2 years ago and then had never released it yet because I just didn't feel like the time was right. It didn't fit any of the CDs I was putting out. But then when all this noise from Washington, D.C. started, coming to us, I thought, I need to do something. And so I cut it down to a 60-second version and added a little new narrative to it and thought, I'm going to buy time on radio stations and TV stations in Washington, D.C., to get the message out there, to make sure that Congress and the president hear from us. And lo and behold, even though I wanted to buy time like any other advertiser, they said no, the message was too controversial.
So our listeners and viewers need to understand it's censorship disguised as journalism, I think is the way Media Research Council calls it. We no longer have free media in this country or free journalism. They are all, I hate to say all, not all, and some to more of an extent than others. And even those networks we think are fair and balanced have been censored to some degree. It is many times accomplice disguised as journalist.
There's no doubt about it. And to give you some frame of reference, just a couple of weeks ago, Gabby Giffords, her group was able to bookend the State of the Union on television with a gun control ad. MoveOn.org came out with a spot opposed to the NRA and opposed to the Second Amendment rights. And they were able to buy time for their messages. I wasn't looking for special consideration. I wasn't looking for free airtime. I was willing to buy time at the market rate. And I was told a pro-Second Amendment commercial was too controversial.
And this is why I have told the RNC, I have said it to anybody who will listen, we're not in a campaign war. We're in a cultural battle. And whether Republicans can win or not at the next election or whatever they want to talk about, you cannot win in a 60-day cycle what you go against the other 365 or 330 days a year. We've got to start coming back at this, recapturing the entertainment industry, the education institutions. And so exactly what you're wanting to do by financing it, you're not even asking for PSAs, you're wanting to buy it, and they're not allowing you. We've got to have some of our conservatives throughout this country who can afford to do so buy the media outlets. I think Human Events is up for sale. Now that's print media. I don't know if that's a good route to go right now with everything coming online. Maybe the Webcast One Live like we're doing today, maybe this is the future, but we've got to find a new way, a new avenue to communicate because we have been shut out, blacked out from the mainstream media.
Yeah, we've been shut out and blacked out, and at the same time, the doors are thrown wide open. I'm still astonished and disgusted by ABC's treatment of Michelle Obama the other day, talking about the fact that, kids used automatic weapons to gun somebody down in Chicago, and then ABC edited it out. It's terribly disturbing. The Come and Take It spot, fortunately, it's getting a lot of traction on YouTube. Between all the different sites where it's posted on YouTube, it's getting close to 500,000 views. The same with the audio. And I should mention, if I may, folks can go to stevevoss.com, spelled STEVEVAUS.com, or connect with me on Facebook or Twitter. I'm out there to fight for the rights that were guaranteed for us so long ago. Not trying to do anything radical, just trying to stand up for our rights.
That's what's hilarious about this whole movement is none of us are trying to push anything new on the people of America. We're trying to stand on the foundations.
Absolutely.
Our
Steve.
Our inalienable rights.
Steve, can I ask you a quick question? Would you allow us to play the short version? I believe it's 1 minute and 10 seconds of your new video so the viewers can see it. And would you be kind enough to hang around after the video and a short commercial break and take 1 or 2 callers?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Would you love it? Okay, everybody, call in. 855.
As often as you want.
Okay. 855-244-0077. It's toll free. Call in now if you'd like to talk to Steve right after the break. And let's show that video if we could. Steve's new video.
Mr. President, members of Congress, you've been making a lot of noise about taking our guns away. But you might want to review history. 1835, Gonzales, Texas Territory. The authorities wanted to confiscate the big gun that protected that colony. You know what the people said? come and take it because they were willing to fight for their freedom and their guns. So are we.
Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from our cold dead hands. We want the freedom that God gave us, so you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it.
One shot at a time. Just like Gonzalez, we're keeping our guns.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershide.
I'm administrative manager
I am the senior technician.
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
You know, if we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, you know, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be, it's your home.
You know, it's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're gonna do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's gonna be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're gonna do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed right or it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you gonna say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
They're gonna be listening. They're gonna wanna know what your challenges are. Then they're gonna come and give you options, and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you know, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it, because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now and then leave and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? I mean, you can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me, but is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going though, I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm gonna take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
I mean, fixed right or it's free or 100% money back.
enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Gun-toting, chicken-eating, son of a Baptist culture, war stories. Dispatches from a Bitter America. That's quite a title for a book, isn't it, Tamara?
Yeah, that son of a Baptist throws me every time because I think you're going to go somewhere you can't go, Ken. I'm not sure if you know the rules well enough, and I just don't know whether I should let you go or not. But you always correct it and catch it. It's always the son of a Baptist.
There you go. Well, Todd Starnes has written a new book, boys and girls, and that's the name of it, Dispatches from a Bitter America. You can pick it up on our website, our very own website, because that photograph right there is all over, and it's a link to where you can order the book at. And I'm going to ask you all to do me a big favor. We are trying to let the New York Times know that we are alive and well in the Tea Party community and Tea Party Nation. I'd like you all to go buy a copy of it, and let's rocket this book to #1, please. Do me a favor. Go order this book. Sarah Palin loved it. Governor Palin endorsed the book. Todd's gotten endorsements from a litany of great conservatives. And I've even read excerpts from it. Haven't had time to read the whole book yet. It's about his stories crossing America. So if you would, go order the book. Go buy the book.
And this is why. You just brought up the New York Times, and I just got an email from Media Research Council yesterday that they had dispatched reporters all over to catch those stories about the impending doom and catastrophe that will come with the sequestration. So this is the attitude of your large national papers. So this is all the more reason why you need to find this book by Todd Starnes and get this book. And the name Bitter America, I can't think of a better title right now. We used to be a better America, and now we are a bitter America.
Absolutely.
And at some point, if we can have Todd come on, we need to do that and have him address our folks. And
before we forget, don't forget to stop by. You're going to be talking to this lady in a few minutes. JanMorganMedia.com. Stop by our website. They are giving away, get this, you really want to make the New York Times mad? Give away an AR-15.
Not only them, but she's made somebody else mad, and we'll find out later who she's ticked off. Let's get back to Steve Voss, who was kind enough to stay online. And do we have some callers? I can't see the phone lines from here, but do we have some callers? Steve, are you game to take some phone calls?
Steve, you there? Steve's on line one.
And for those of our viewers and listeners, I did go to the Tea Party community to my little page there, and I put on a couple of links. If you have not seen these, I want you to see these. Keith Ellison, representative from Minnesota, a congressional member, had the opportunity to be interviewed by Hannity. Have you seen this?
No.
It is like a third grade spitting match.
Oh, no.
He won't let Hannity ask a question. He won't let Hannity talk.
Good luck with that.
Them. I mean, you might as well say, I'm not, but you are. It's reduced to that level. And this is our congressional members. So I put that on my Tea Party community Facebook, and you've got to go see that. And then
I will.
I just put up the video we played from Steve Voss. I went ahead and put that video up as well, so you can find it easily and send it to your friends. So please do that. Do we have Steve back on the line? Steve,
where did you go? I guess we lost Steve.
Well, let's go ahead and see what our callers have to say.
Let's see what John's been holding for a while in Fort Worth. Let's see how John's doing down in Fort Worth. John, are you with us?
Hey, great.
John.
Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, John. It could be the snow. They said we might get a less light dusting, and so we're sitting on 4 new inches that came after 9 inches yesterday. So we'll blame the snow. How about that?
Well, God bless you.
Well, tell us what's happening in your area.
Well, I had a question about welfare reform. When the CEO of Whole Foods came out against Obamacare, which I thought was great to see someone in business taking a stand like that.
And which
how some of his customers are.
Yeah, which CEO was it?
I don't remember his name. It's the CEO of Whole Foods.
Okay.
Anyway, so I decided to start taking my business there. And I don't know what stores you have up there, but Whole Foods is kind of an expensive store, higher end. And I've noticed that they take food stamps there. And I see a lot of those kind of people that you just know shouldn't be shopping there, and they're shopping there with food stamps. So can't we do something about that?
Well, see, I hear
a small step.
And so what I'm concerned with, what your question is your question that food stamps shouldn't be allowed at that store?
Well, it's an expensive store.
Mm-hmm.
And, you see some lower class poor people there, and they take food stamps.
I hear your heart. I think I hear your heart where you're going. But even the conversation makes me a little uncomfortable because I just don't like the lower class. I don't like dividing ourselves. We take the left's bait and we divide ourselves into lower class, middle class, upper class. We're all people. We're all human beings. I think what I'm hearing you say, though, is if they're taking our tax dollars, shouldn't they be good stewards of those and shop where they can get the best price, the best value for that food stamp? That's what your concern is.
You know how liberals are. They take the most that they can. So they shouldn't be allowed to shop at expensive stores.
I'm going to tell you, Steve.
I think the best thing is to come back and fix the problem. The problem is the whole welfare issue, and we need to fix that by taking it back to the local level, back through our charities, back through our communities. So do we have another caller? Or did we get Steve
We
back?
have Steve back.
Well, we got to go back to Steve.
Let's get Steve and then get Michael on the line.
Steve, are you back with us?
Yeah, I never went anywhere.
We lost you. It must be the snow. We're blaming everything today, Steve, on the snow.
You know, I'm sitting here and it's about 70 degrees.
No.
Yeah,
we're
don't
not.
go
No,
there.
don't
We
go
like
there.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, I guess we should allow you to count your blessings too. What is it, 70 and sunny?
Yeah, 75 and sunny, no doubt.
And so tell our listeners, you are now the city council member.
Yeah, you know, Poway here and right on the edge of San Diego is really an island in a sea of Southern California insanity. And I was elected last November, and I plan on keeping us an island in a sea of insanity.
Very good.
Very good.
We have, well, now we don't have.
Yeah, they just dropped off.
Oh, they did.
That's okay. We've
We
got
had
Steve.
somebody from your neck of the woods down in Northridge calling, but we lost him. It's the snow, Steve. It's the snow.
So, Steve, how is all of this sequestration talk going to affect? We're hearing now that, you know, the stories, the catastrophes, all the calamity that they're saying will befall on us. How will that affect you as a city council member, as counties, as states?
You know, us as a city, but it's interesting you mention it because word came out in the media just yesterday here that the local immigration office was insisting that illegal immigrants, and I will call them illegal immigrants as opposed to unauthorized whatever, should be released from the jails in a budget move. And they said it was a directive from the White House that caused this. Well, of course, there was a firestorm, but now today the White House comes out and says, no. We didn't say that you should release them. But, you know, I look at those kind of impacts, and it's going to impact crime rates if that continues. But in reality, when we're talking about a, 2.4 cut across the board, I think we're seeing a lot of fear-mongering on the part of the president.
It's exactly what we're seeing. And I believe it was Media Research Council again. I'm talking about them a lot today, but they've sent out some great information, and they kind of go through the breakdown. I'll see if I can pull that back up on my computer screen. But, you know, when we're threatening that teachers are going to get pink slips, and yet, according to this article, those budgets have been done for the next year. So no one's going to get a pink slip this year because of the cuts that they're making, the sequestration. It will be for other reasons. All the areas are saying they're going to hit. I mean, yesterday, TSA agents or the radar folks, you know, they're not going to hit the librarians, or we could thin a few out, or they're not going to hit those non-essentials. They're going to. Here's the difference. If I were a private business owner and you have to make cuts, and private business owners do that all the time, but they make them in a way where the base, the commercials, the customers don't see it. In government, you do the opposite. You hit first those businesses, those industries, those areas that are your customer base, where the client, where the taxpayer is going to feel it the most and be hurt, because you want to force more money out of their pockets.
That's right.
Let me put it on a more personal level.
Okay.
A year and a half ago, when my wife lost her job, we lost 40% of our income. We didn't say to the kids, you know, we don't know if we're going to be able to eat anymore. We don't know if we're going to be able to drive you to school anymore. We said, look, kids, we're going to have to cut back. We might not be able to go to the movies so much anymore. We might not be able to take a vacation, but we're going to be fine, and we're going to work, cut our expenses to wait this thing out. That's the way real people do it. But Obama politicizes it. He turns into a demagogue, and it's all for his end purpose of control.
And my concern is what we're going to have happen after this. I think all of us understand there's 2% fat somewhere in the budget, the size we have it. But under what excuse, because of this excuse, will he harm, whether it's our military or national defense? Where is he going to hurt the most, and what control will we have over that? It's no longer...
Well,
go ahead.
The first cut I want to see is all his travel going around stirring up fear. it would be a symbolic cut. But good Lord, how many millions of dollars has he spent flying around on Air Force One, trying to stir up fear on the gun control issue, trying to stir up fear on the sequester issue? Stay in the White House, Mr. President, and do your job.
Well, see, here's the thing, too, Steve, that most people don't realize. I don't know if most people know this or not. You probably do. But when that Air Force One is wheels up at Andrews, they spend close to $100,000 an hour to operate. And it's not just that one airplane. Along with that airplane goes the big cargo plane, 2 of them, I believe, for the United States Air Force, that takes his motorcade. They take the Black Hawk helicopters, because when he's on the ground at a different location, they've always got Black Hawks in the air. And so they guard the airplane when it takes off and lands. And I mean, since 9/11, it has gotten astronomically expensive to fly the president anywhere. And this guy runs around, and I want to play golf today in Florida with Tiger Woods. And what does he do? He jumps on, spends $1.5 million of our dollars to go down to Florida to play golf with Tiger Woods.
Yep. Only thing missing on that golf outing was Bill Clinton, and we're still paying the tab for him.
And I have to add that talking about the debunking of his sequester report, that was actually the GOP. And so I've now put that on our Tea Party community page, on Tamara Scott's Tea Party community page as well. So for our viewers out there, we've got you equipped today. We've got you empowered with lots of links and things that we can go and talk about and see. So, Steve, anything else you want our viewers and our listeners out there to know? I mean, people like you willing to stand when they took your song off 20-some years ago, a lot of people was shut down. They would have thought, well, we're going to have to change that. I heard it at the State House. I heard it at the State House today. We can't get this education bill. That's why we're going with this lesser, horrible model that's going to cost us a huge amount of money because we can't get the other one through. What would you say to our listeners as far as getting people to stay involved, stay engaged, and quit giving up before we've ever had a fight?
Well, that's really my job, to inspire people, to empower them. I want to encourage people to listen to my music online. I mean, I'd love it if you buy a CD, stevevoss.com. Connect with me on Facebook or on Twitter. And, my job is kind of like the fife and drum corps back in the early days that led the charge. They were there for a reason.
Steve, I got to throw in one thing. And if you repeat this, I'll swear you're not telling the truth. I did like your boots, but beyond that, the first time I ever heard, that's a private joke between Steve and I, by the way, but I'll tell you all after he's off the air about that story. But do go to stevevoss.com. The first time I ever heard that song, We Must Take America Back, and watch the video on YouTube, honest to God, partner, I had tears in my eyes. That was the most moving song. If you haven't heard it, Tea Party community, go to YouTube, download it, buy a CD. He's got, what do you got, 8 CDs on your website for sale? And I believe so. That's what last count I had was. He's a great singer, and his songs are so inspirational. You really need to listen to them. Steve, I'm going to cut you loose in a minute. You got any parting words?
I would just say, even if people can't buy the music, they're welcome to put the YouTube on their Facebook and share it of We Must Take America Back video. Also, the Come and Take It Back spot. Spread it around. This needs to spread like wildfire, and we got to stir up some trouble so that, they don't get away with the nonsense they're trying to pull on us.
Well, listen, I want you to come over to Tea Party community. It's time you came over. It's another Facebook. You're going to have a huge fan club over there. Listeners, I want you to welcome him over, message him, send him a note, tell him to get his tail over to Tea Party community and get out of that liberal establishment. You can wear those boots, cowboy. All right, we're going to let you go. We got to talk to our hero, Jan Morgan. Not that you're not our hero, you are. You have a great day, Steve.
And is Jan on the line? Jan, this is Tamara Scott. Thank you so much for joining us 2 days this week. I feel pretty blessed to have you on our show. Thank you.
Jan.
Yes.
Hey, Jan.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Tamara was welcoming you to the show, and I don't think you heard her.
Oh, yes, I heard her, and I said, thank you so much. I'm glad to be on board. I love.
Now, I've been sharing your link to the AR-15. What a great idea. Thank you for offering that to our listeners, to our viewers, to anybody out there. Send this to your friend. Go on to janmorganmedia.com, Jan Morgan, Morgan, media.com. You can sign up for an AR-15 through tomorrow. The 28th of February is your last day, so send that to all of your friends. But here's what I want. I want you to send it to people in Iowa because Jan is going to she's going to personally deliver that AR-15, and I want her to come to our state. So I'm selfishly pushing it to everybody I know in this state, Jan, to up our odds.
Thank you so much for that plug. Yes, in fact, you know what? The 28th at midnight is the deadline to sign up to win that free AR-15. So time is short. People need to get in there and do that. And, yeah, you know, I would love to hand deliver that AR-15 to you. Would love to come your direction. But you guys still got a lot of snow out there, don't you?
Yeah, you better wear your snow galoshes or snow boots.
They said we might get a dusting. We're sitting on about 15 inches right now at my house.
Well, just so everyone knows, I'm not the one that gets to pull the name out of the hopper. The folks at Liberty Alliance will pull the name out of that big hopper, and then they tell me who won. So nobody blame me if they don't win it.
Well, listen, Jan, here's the deal. We're going to go to break in a second. I'm going to shamelessly plug your website for you again, and I want to plug a couple other websites. And then we're going to come back, and then I want you to tell your story about those nice folks down in another state that for some reason decided you're too radical because you love the Constitution and love your gun.
Apparently that's the case. I would love to tell that story right after the break. You bet.
Okay.
Okay.
If you choose to obey the power of sin, it leads to death. If you choose to obey obedience, it leads to righteousness.
Forgiveness is just the beginning of life in Christ. God wants us to live for Him now.
And because of Jesus Christ, the gospel was preached, and you and I are blessed today because of Abraham. Did you know that? We're blessed.
Experience Truth, 99.3 FM.
If Tom Coates from Consumer Credit of America was your personal webmaster, Tom would filter out all bad debt emails. If Tom was your mailman, you'd never get any debt reduction junk mail. If Tom Coates was a lineman, he'd block any phone calls offering to reduce your credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America, and we're still your best choice for credit counseling. We're local, we're accountable, and we can do more. You make the call when the time's right for you.
When it comes to competition, there really is none for Consumer Credit of America.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Well, hello. We're going to put in one more plug. I'm going to put in one more plug for my gun-toting, chicken-eating, son of a Baptist culture warrior war stories friend, Mr. Todd Starnes, who wrote Dispatches from Bitter America. You guys really do need to check this book out. It is hysterical. You need to check it out. And then when you're done doing that, you can stop by and visit our friend Jan Morgan Media and register for your AR-15. And do not forget, after today's show, we're going to have Tom Trento. He has a 3 hours from beautiful, warm, sunny southern Florida, and he's right here at Tea Party Community. He's going to teach you about liberty, Sharia law, and all the nasty folks that are trying to take America over. He's a good guy. I know him personally, and he is a very good man. You need to listen to Mr. Trento. Well, that said, let's get Miss Morgan back on the phone and get her to tell us her story, and then you have some callers, Jan.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ken. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been accused, I've been called all kinds of names all over this country, and some of them I couldn't even dare begin to repeat. I've had my life threatened, and usually it's the liberals or the Muslims who call me names. I was shocked recently when I had been asked originally by someone on a committee in a county in northern Arkansas to introduce Mike Huckabee at a speaking event. This was a Republican event. And then I was also asked to give a speech after he spoke, which, you know, what kind of dummy would stand up and actually try to engage an audience after Mike Huckabee speaks? You know, he's a phenomenal
You're brave.
But they needed someone to fill some time because he was on a tight schedule, and I'm just foolish enough to say absolutely yes. And, of course, what an honor it would be to introduce Mike Huckabee. I know him personally. He and I go way back. But anyway, it was a done deal and put it on my schedule. And then a few days before, I called the person who contacted me, and I said, hey, just double-checking. I haven't heard back from you guys, and I needed to know what time you need me where. And the person said, well, I've been trying to figure out how to tell you this, but some of the people on the Republican committee felt that, you know, maybe it wouldn't be such a good idea for you to speak because you're just, you know, might come across a bit
Why?
too radical.
Why?
Too radical.
You're a great speaker.
I said,
what are you saying that's anti-American?
No, do you know what I did, Ken? I turned around. I was in shock. I said, wait, I have worked hand in hand with Republicans. I am a conservative patriot. I have worked hand in hand with the Republican Party. I have voted Republican my entire life. I'm a Tea Party patriot as well. I'm an independent conservative. I'm for the guy that's on the conservative side, and I'm for working with the Republican Party if that's what it takes to get the right person elected. I'm for working with the Tea Party, whatever it takes. But I said, can you specifically tell me what it is about what I represent that is considered radical? Please tell me anything you've ever heard me say. Of course, they couldn't come out with anything. And I said, and I listed the Tea Party community mission statement. I put all of the things that are in the mission statement of the Tea Party community.
Wow.
I said, tell me exactly which part of anything here is radical, because if there's anything in here that the Republicans consider radical, then wow, we're going to have some serious problems here. Because and you know, Ken, it was very disheartening. I was very upset about it. But I think this is part of the bigger picture. It's exactly why the Republican Party had their rear ends handed to them in this last election. The Tea Party is not to be overlooked. We are not to be trampled on. And there are a lot of independents out there and conservatives who are angry at the direction the Republican Party has gone. And we're trying to help these guys straighten things out because we're all on the same side here. You know,
Jan, you called me. I'm going to make a confession to the listeners. Jan called me the other night at, 10 or 10:30 at night.
It was
and
11
she was
at night.
Was it 11? And she was almost in tears because she had just received this phone call, and she said, Ken, have you ever heard me say anything that's anti-American, that's racist, that's anything that can be construed as bad? And I said, no. And my next question was this, and Jan, I'd like you to address this for a second, if you can. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'd really like to know. If the Republican Party in that area where you were at, you were supposed to give the speech and introduce Governor Huckabee, if they're against what you stand for that's in our mission statement, and I would encourage everybody to go read it. It's on the website, teapartycommunity.com. Then what are they standing for? If they're against supporting the Constitution, supporting America, supporting the right to worship as you want to, if they're against all this and they're against the Second Amendment, then what is the Republican Party standing for? That's my question.
You know, Ken, I tell you what, if I am radical, then so were the founding fathers of this country. Because
Amen.
I stand for the principles that those great men laid in the foundation of this country. And you can't, I'm a constitutionalist. I don't stand for anything that is against our Constitution. I don't stand for anything. There's nothing in the Tea Party mission statement that I'm against. And I go above and beyond to maintain a level of professionalism in my post and on my website. I don't call names. I could not figure out what the heck they were talking about when they call. Am I radical because I'm passionate about the Second Amendment? Am I I've had people tell me before, well, you talk too much about guns. And I said, well, but it's not about guns. It's about the Second Amendment. That's what I'm talking about. And yes, we are talking about guns because never before in the history of this country has the Second Amendment been under such attack. And without the Second Amendment, we have no way to defend the rest of the amendments in the Bill of Rights. So, yes, I'm fiercely passionate about that.
I agree with you. Can we let's take one caller. Dan, would you be willing to take one caller? Let's try John out of New Jersey. John, what do you have to allow for us? No, John. How about Andrew? Andrew, are you there?
Hello?
You're on the air with Jan Morgan, Tamara Scott, and myself, Ken
Tamara
Crow.
Scott, who happens to be
how
the
y'all
National
doing?
Committee woman for the Republican Party in
That's
Iowa as
right.
well. So I'd like to talk to Jan after I am.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Am I on?
You bet. Go.
Hey, nice to be talking to you finally. Big fan. I was born a Republican, I'll die a Texan. I have a theory as to why Obama won this election. All right.
Make it quick.
I was in Austin in 2008, and I saw President Obama give a speech, and I was actually protesting the speech. I do not want him in office, do not like him in office, but I have a confession to make, right? I voted for Obama. Okay? Do you want to know why I voted for Obama? It's because he tainted me. Have you ever tainted a friend or been tainted by a friend before?
Not sure where you're going here, but I do want to get back to Jan.
I don't know where he's going either. Let's go back to Jan.
He got hung up on.
Ken and Tamara, let me say this regarding what he mentioned, why Obama got elected. I tell you why Obama got elected, and I tell you why I'm afraid that we may never have another conservative in the White House again, and that is because of this division that is occurring on the right.
Right.
The left loves it, and we have got to pull together. We are all on the same side. We've got to stop the nitpicking, and we've got to get back to the founding principles of this country. That is something that all people on the right should be able to agree on and stand behind. And this petty bickering between Republicans and Tea Party patriots and libertarians has got to stop.
And the unfortunate thing is that we are so weak in our understanding of the Constitution. We are so weak in our understanding of what's radical, what's not, and what we need to be doing to hold firm to the liberties of this Constitution, the Bill of Rights. We don't even understand it. And so until we get that teaching back, and my concern, Jan, and I'm so thankful for people like you, but we will not win in another campaign cycle because K through 12, these kids are hearing everything anti-constitutional, anti-fundamental to what this country was started on. This is a culture battle. And so we need folks like you who are willing to stand firm, stand strong, and say it with eloquence without apology. And so I'm really curious, being the National Committee woman from Iowa, I want to know, was there anything in there even on a social issue such as marriage? Were they even talking about anything like that?
No. I could not get them to specifically tell me what it is that I represent that they believe is radical. I never could get another response. But the gentleman who initially contacted me, who said that he said, I wish I had accepted the chairmanship of that committee and this wouldn't have been an issue. He said, I can't believe it's an issue. He said, I told them you're a great American. I told them that you're speaking and working hand in hand with Republicans all over the country. And he said, bottom line is this. As a result of this, I am quitting this group after this event. He said, I'm done with them.
Beg him not to quit. Beg him to stay in and get back at where he should have been, where he thinks now he should have been. And obviously they have not looked at your following online because we need numbers. And if they would have done that, I mean, they're willing to sell our soul over the same-sex marriage issue for a few votes they think we might steal from the Democratic base. And here we are killing ourselves with our own base. We are way out of time. Dan's giving me all the signals as he should be. We've got to go. Jan, thank you. I want to talk to you afterwards because we're going to get to the bottom of this and save our country.
Sure, Tamara. You bet. Enjoy being a part of this show. I'll come back anytime you guys want.